travel in your RV with pets? We do with our Australian Shepherd, Meka. While she loves to hike, she can't always go to the places that we do. So what do we do to make her comfortable when she can't be with us or while we're out on the road? Stick around and we'll show you what we use to do just that. When Ken and I lived in our sticks and bricks, we had about an acre of land where Meka could have lots of room to exercise and roam and play. And now that we live mostly full-time in our RV, we have 10 things that we want to share with you that we do to keep her safe and comfortable and happy.
So when we're in the RV, we obviously keep it very, very comfortable. When we leave, we need to keep it comfortable for Meka as well. So a couple of things that we need to do is, one is monitor the environment in terms of temperature, humidity, and also just monitor the environment visually as well. And so we have a camera and we have an environmental monitor. Now there's a number of these tools on the market today, and let's talk about a couple of those, and we'll talk about the two that we have. So first and foremost, Furbo is one that people talk about, and it's a monitor camera that actually spits out a treat as well for your dog, and it's about $210, and then you've got to buy a monthly subscription as well. So, you know, obviously, you know, cheap insurance, but still not extremely economical. On the environmental monitor piece, you have something called Waggle, and so I know a lot of people use that as well, but you still then have to have a subscription relative to a 4G. So it uses 4G instead of wireless to connect to you know, your phone to make sure that you're being notified if an issue comes up. So we don't use those. What we use is a Wise camera, which is very inexpensive. It's a V3, and we've actually had these for a while, so we just reuse those. And they're about $30 on Amazon. You can get that, and it does give you notifications, both for sound as well as for visually. And you can buy a subscription for that if you want to. It's very inexpensive. It's a couple dollars a month to go into the cloud, but it also allows you to plug in a memory card, a micro SD memory card, and so you can actually record those and go back and look at those later if you choose not to have the subscription. On the environmental monitor, we actually use one called GoV, and it's in here somewhere. I know I've got it in my pocket, and it's actually right here. And so this device is about $40 on Amazon, runs off of batteries, and it does not have a 4G subscription, which is okay with us, but it does connect to our Wi-Fi, and so it connects right now to our solar and battery backed up Wi-Fi. But knowing that we have Wi-Fi on our lithium ion and our solar, we know that that's not going to go out. And this has actually worked very well, monitors temperature and humidity, and it'll give you an alert to your phone if one of those changes in terms of what you set up as far as parameters is concerned. So we'll put links to these two things, the Wise camera and the GoV below as well.
Meka's favorite place to sleep is the space between our bed and the closet. And although we've purchased a number of beds for her, she's refused to sleep in them. So to keep her comfortable in that space, we purchased a small 12-volt clip-on fan to keep her cool and happy. Even though Meka is with us most of the time, there are times when she can't go with us. And so we make sure she's comfortable inside. And another thing is that we have in case of emergency sticker posted here on the outside of the RV so that, God forbid, anything really bad happens, someone would be able to get in touch with us. So make sure that you put one of those on your RV so that people have a phone number to contact you in case of an emergency.
While we love our Lippert solid steps, the metal on these can be kind of slippery when it gets wet. So we put these stair covers on them so we can help Meka get up there more easily, and it helps Pam and I as well. The inside stairs of our Alliance RV are slippery as well, so we got another kind of stair covers to prevent Meka from slipping.
From time to time, you may find yourself needing pet sitting services. And although we've not used any of these, there are some available, such as Wag, Fetch, and Rover, and specifically one for cats called Meowtel. And what they do is they connect you with local people that have been vetted, and you can make arrangements with them. Those links we'll put below. Well, as you can see, Meka sheds, and she sheds a lot. So we make sure that we cover the back seat with this washable, waterproof seat cover, and that way I can keep the dog hair and dirt and whatever else under control. But something else that we use for the dog hair is this pet wedge, and basically it's an easy way to clean all of the dog hair that sticks to this seat cover until I get a chance to wash it. Another thing that we rely heavily upon is this collapsible water bowl. It's silicone, lightweight, and obviously very easy to have with you wherever you are. So when we're traveling in the truck or if we're hiking, we always make sure that we carry a water bottle specifically for Meka. And you'll find all of the links for these items that we've mentioned down below.
When we're at the campground, we've actually chosen to use a yard leash as opposed to a fence that goes in the campsite. We felt like this is a little better for her because she likes to be next to us when we sit down. It just works better for us, and we don't have to carry around a large fence to assemble and disassemble every time we move. This yard leash is about 15 feet, so we have to make sure that we position it in a way that she can't get to other campsites and get to other people that may be walking past our campsite. So we talked about the fact that we use the yard leash while at the campground to kind of keep Meka, close by and making sure she doesn't, annoy other folks. One of the things you really need to check before you get to a campground, and not all of them require this, but some do require shot records. So be sure that you actually have those scanned on your phone, have those readily available, because some campgrounds, as I said, do require that. And also some campgrounds do not allow certain breeds of dogs. And so I think those of you that have some of those breeds probably know and have come across that. So we've not had an issue. Meka is an Australian Shepherd, and we've not had an issue with her never being allowed at a campground, but just be cognizant of those couple things. Because Meka hikes a lot, she tends to get exceptionally dirty. And so whether she goes through creeks or she swims in some of the lakes, as you've seen in some of the videos. So we have to make sure that we wash her, frequently. Now, a lot of campgrounds, that's a little bit of a challenge. And so you have to kind of make do where you can. We have found, especially on the East Coast, we saw this, and I never saw this before, where they actually have dog washes in some laundromats and actually in some car washes as well. So you'd be on the lookout for those. And they're very convenient. They're very inexpensive, and you get soup to nuts, so basically wash and dry and all that kind of stuff. We were also given a tip by our friends Chris and Katrina over Everyday Getaway, and this is Tractor Supply stores actually have dog washes as well. Now, we haven't used any of those, but we understand those are great as well. So definitely be on the lookout for different pet washes as opposed to using the campground, because some campgrounds don't allow that. Meka eats about 2 cups of dog food a day, 1 cup in the morning and 1 cup in the afternoon. But we do try and buy as much dog food as we can to be economical. Obviously, we know that if you buy in bigger quantities, it's going to be less expensive per serving. However, what do you do with the rest of that? Not only in terms of how do you seal it, but the weight that you have to carry around. So there's always a trade-off to that. This carries about 5 pounds of dog food, but we like to buy it in anywhere from 12 to 16 pounds at a time, just again for the economics of that. What I've done in the past is I've wrapped that bag up, the remainder of it, and I've put it into a sealed bin with a lid. But I've always been concerned about, will rodents sniff that out? We're in bear country here in Montana, and will bears sniff it out? So far they haven't, so that's been good. Recently, a company called FXW reached out to us, and they wanted us to try one of their air-sealed bags. We haven't received it yet, but it's on the way, so we're looking forward to doing that, and we'll do a review, a follow-up with that once we get it and check it out. But my understanding is that it allows you to seal that all up, airtight. You can actually take that to, if you're doing dog sitting services or something like that as well. We'll do a follow-up video on that, let you know how that works. Whenever we leave the camper for a long period of time, we will always shut the water off just to prevent any flooding. We sometimes will shut the propane off as well, but when we leave the trailer, and Meka's going to be in there for several hours, we will shut the propane off just because we're not typically in cold enough weather to warrant the propane heat, and we typically run our hot water heater on the electric, especially when we're at a campsite as well. So just go ahead and shut that propane off when you leave the camper for a while, and just minimize any more risk of fire. So we hope you enjoyed this video and the tips that we provided. Now, these are not complete tips for everybody. I mean, you may have some other ideas that we haven't covered, and if you do, we'd love to see a comment below. And so definitely let us know what you use that perhaps we didn't mention here as well.
And if you're new here, we appreciate you watching, and if you enjoy our content, we would love if you subscribed, but make sure to hit the like button and ring the bell, and you'll be notified each time a new video comes out.
Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.